$1,061.91, which was 11.2% increase over the same period last year. Sales tax for the month of April was $376,149.35, which is a 2.1% increase compared to the same period last year. Board members, if there are no questions, I ask that you approve the financial report at this time.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Do I hear a motion to approve these financial statements? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions at this time? All those in favor of approving the financial statements, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Financial statements have been approved. Item 4 is to approve the bid for the network switch replacement, and Gail turn this over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, you have been provided with a sealed bid. We have 2 sealed bids for 2 companies to replace the network of our schools. And obviously, as you can see, the recommendation is for Pinnacle. Obviously, they were lower price. And so in speaking with Mr. Lindsay, we prefer that we go with Pinnacle.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Do I hear a motion to approve this bid?
So moved.
So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions at this time? Mr. Lindsay, do you mind just walking us through the scope of this work?
Sure. These are the network switches. This is the follow-up replacement to the Wi-Fi that we did earlier. When we replaced the Wi-Fi, we had 1 network switch per what we call IDF, or basically per hallway or per building. And what we've done is now we're going to purchase Juniper switches to coincide with the Juniper Wi-Fi switch, which means we can be managed using a central cloud manager. We can log into one thing. We can see all of our switches right there remotely using the cloud manager. That's what everybody's going to now. So we don't have 2 brands and 2 different manufacturers and 2 different vendors in our closets.
Understood, like none of that, but that sounds great.
Upgrade, but with one company versus having some equipment from one company and some from another.
Yes.
We are using ESSER funds. Correct.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Any further questions or discussion?
I'm just curious on why there's such a big difference in bid price.
Well, yeah, the Synergistics bid, they bid, what was the brand, Keith? Extreme Switches.
Extreme.
And they were extremely overbuilt for our purposes. They had what's called multi-gig ports all throughout the switch. A switch will have 24 or 48 ports. We don't need multi-gig ports on every port on the switch. So the Juniper switches, it might have, out of 24 ports, it might have 4 multi-gig ports. And so that made a huge difference in the price.
Any further questions or comments? All those in favor of approving this bid, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Bid has been approved. Item number 5 is to approve the bid for the desktop computer replacement, and again, I'll turn this over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, you have sealed bids for the replacement of desktop computers were opened and reported on April 27th of 2023. We actually had 9 companies to bid. However, 2 of those 9 met our qualifications, and as you can see here, I think Boone and Clearwater. However, the recommendation is to accept the Clearwater technology for the amount that is listed at this time. And this is also funded with our ESSER funds.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve this bid to go with Clearwinds Technology?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions at this time?
I'll repeat the question, just Duncan for a minute.
What's that?
Yeah, to explain.
Okay, yes. Okay, we went with Clearwinds Technologies. We had a lot of bidders on this bid, and we had some that didn't even really qualify for consideration. One of the things we needed with these computers was a monitor, a screen. Some of them didn't even submit that. So they just submitted the desktop itself. Others submitted refurbished items. So we looked at all of that, not just price. We looked at what the quality of the product was, the reputation of the company, the reputation of the vendor, all of that was considered in the bid. There's also a very specific thing we wanted. We wanted to be able to connect 2 monitors to the computer and also a smart panel, like the one you see behind you. Well, the smart panel takes a certain type of port, which is pretty much on the back of everybody's home television or game system, but it's called an HDMI port. And all these years, we've been having to use a small adapter to make the display port fit into the HDMI cable. And most every bidder still kept that model. They would just give us 3 display ports and we were still going to have to get this little adapter. Those adapters fail, they're cheap. So 2 of the 13 bidders actually provided a separate HDMI port on the back of the desktop. It came down to that, really. So that's what we went with. And then the Clearwinds Technologies, that's a Dell product, and we've got a very good track record with using Dell products. They have a very good service, after the sale. And the other brand, I think, was Acer, and it really wasn't an apples to apples comparison when you look at what type of computer you're getting. So and also the Clearwinds Technologies, that price includes installation and also removal of the trash and all that, because we're talking about over 200 computers.
That was my next question. What number of computers is over 200?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's a typical replacement plan, or like what longevity should we expect with this?
At least 5 years. Probably longer than that. We've got a lot of memory in these computers. So, we're now just starting out with Windows 11 in terms of Microsoft. So these things will be in service for a long time.
Any further questions or comments? Mr. Lindsay, Ms. Thomas?
I got just one more for Duncan.
Sure.
I trust your expertise in this field, but you think this $84,000 more bid is worth that in the long run?
I do. In the long run, I do.
Anything else? Okay. All those in favor of approving this bid to go with Clearwinds Technology for computer replacement, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Bid has been approved. Item number 6 is to approve the new community eligibility provision cycle for the child nutrition program. And again, I'll turn this over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, you have the information before you in reference to the CEP. And this is the program that allows all of our students to eat free, both breakfast and lunch. And the time has come for us to renew that. And so the recommendation is that, or the request rather, is that we continue this particular program for the next school term of 23-24, based on our percentages of our free and reduced lunch students.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Do I hear a motion to approve this child nutrition program? Do I hear a second? Any questions or comments? It's an opportunity to say thank you, Ms. Joyce Purdy, for all she does for our
Absolutely.
students. That you can't learn if you're hungry.
Exactly right.
We appreciate you and your staff for all they do. Any further comments? All those in favor of approving this effort to provide breakfast and lunch meals at no charge to our students through the child nutrition program, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Item has been approved. Item number 7 is to approve the bid for the CNC milling machine trainer at the Troy Pike Center for Technology, and then I'll turn this over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, again, you have the information in regards to the Zoom deal that was open for this particular machine training. And I think we only have one company to bid. And so obviously the recommendation is for us to approve this company here for this particular machine. Mr. Knox is here to kind of give you a little insight on what this machine or training does with this machine.
It's the same thing we talked about at last meeting, talking about the equipment grant being approved. the $50,000 equipment grant. This is a portion of it to buy that machine to go to the mechatronics classes. And they'll be able to take basically a smaller version of what you would see at places like Kimber and be able to mill down and practice those type of techniques to hopefully get a pipeline from school to work for a company such as that.
Thank you, Mr. Knott. Do I hear a motion to approve this milling machine purchase?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion or comments, questions? So just to draw a fine point on this, we're funding this off of the $50,000 equipment grant. Anything else? All those in favor of approving this bid, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Bid has been approved. Item number 8 is the approval of out-of-district students, and again, I'll turn this over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, as you know, we have updated our out-of-district policy with the people who are interested in attending our schools, but yet are out of district, that they have to submit that request here in the central office. And obviously, you're not going to know these students, but the fact that they are on the list, each principal and along with us have decided that these students are fine to return under your approval. So at this time, I ask that you approve the out-of-district students list.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Do I hear a motion to approve these out-of-district students?
So
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions at this time?
I got a question, Ms. Thomas. Remind me, I know we just got to look at the policy recently. What power or procedure do we have in vetting students returning, especially regarding discipline files or things of that nature?
if they make this list, we've had those discussions with those principals to see if there's an issue. However, they will not return if there are issues, depending on the severity of it. But again, the fact that they're on this list, we've already had those discussions. And so those individuals will call here to get on the list to return, and we look at that list to determine if there's behavior issues or anything of that nature. And then in some cases about pay. So unfortunately, we did not pay. So if they made the list, and they've been approved via principals as well as us.
All right, thank you.
And if we have a new student
Yes,
seek to join the system, they wouldn't be on this list yet.
absolutely not, not
Okay.
yet, not yet.
They're bid provisionally, and then we review them at the end of the.
Yes,
They're all returned.
Any other questions or comments at this time? All those in favor of approving these out-of-district students, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The out-of-district students have been approved. Item number 9 is Jeremy Knox and the presenting of the 8 graduates from Enterprise State Community College from Charles Henderson High School. I'll turn it over to Mr. Knox this time.
They're going up front. Oh, yeah, look there. So while they're coming up front, not everybody can make it tonight, but those that could, we just wanted to bring them in front of you so you can see, dual enrollment at work here, and Ms. Brooks is here. She does, y'all kind of even it out.
we got one more coming up.
Ms. Brooks does most of the work with these students. They're not all 8 from Enterprise State. 5 of them are from LBW for welding, and the other 3 are from Enterprise State. So Malcolm Lightfoot on the left, graduating with an Associate Applied Science in Mechatronics. A.C. Hawkins, Associate Applied Science and Paralegal. Taylor Brady, a short-term certificate in Basic SMAW in Cutting. Reed Norman, same, Basic SMAW in Cutting from LBW. Hunter Kelly, Basic SMAW in Cutting, as well as Consumable Arc Welding, with that from LBW. Dent Brown has a short-term certificate in Mechatronics. Dent is a junior, so just like Malcolm last year, Walt was his short-term certificate as a junior and graduated this year. Dent's on track for that. Jordan McCord could not be here. He also earned 2 short-term certificates, just like Hunter Kelly, and Colin White earned a single short-term certificate as well. So between these 8 students, there's 10 certificates, or degrees earned, and over 200 hours of college credit. So, at no cost to the student.
On behalf of the board, I would just say congratulations to you all. The certificates and degrees that you've earned are something that no one can ever take away from you. And that's something that's increasingly valuable in the marketplace and in the workforce. And we look forward to you all representing Charles Henderson High School and Fort City School as well as you take the next steps, either into your senior year for Mr. Brown or for the rest of you all out into your college careers or your professional careers. So congratulations again for all you've accomplished over your time.
Job well done. Okay.
I don't know why anyone would want to leave this riveting and exciting meeting. Be that as it may, we will continue on with item number 10, which is personnel. And for this, I'll turn it over to Mrs. Thomas.
Board members, you have before you the personnel at this time. I ask that you approve personnel at this time if there are no questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Board members, you've been provided the personnel actions. Do I hear a motion to approve them? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion items at this time?
We are see so many people that are designing. Is they designing because they've got other jobs or
Moving, 2 other jobs, if I'm reading right, is what the first list. Yes, ma'am, for the most part, other jobs and moving away, promotions. I think that clears it up, yes. They retire.
so we got a lot of people that already need to be replaced, like.
Yes, ma'am, we're in the process of replacing all of them right now. We actually have a couple that we, obviously, that are on here that we replace some.
I'd just like to note, with Ms. McGowan, Ms. McClendon, Ms. Huner, and Coach Elder, it's 95 years of service to the system, and we're all in that go missed. And we're certainly going to miss the presence of these 4 ladies and their service to our system and more importantly to our kids.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Any other comments or questions at this time? All those in favor of approving these personnel actions, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Personnel actions have been approved. Item number 11 is delegations. Do we have any this evening?
None at this time.
Item number 12, board members' comments, and we'll start with Mr. Smith.
I'd like to thank the central office for their leadership and appreciate our teachers really well. I think this month, and they're compelling a lot of business entities and other entities in the communities to really lead through our PTO and loving on our teachers. It seemed like they were loved and appreciated well this past week. It's very encouraging to see the accomplishments of these graduates, and I appreciate the administrators and staff that are multiplying opportunities a lot earlier than they were available when I was coming through school. I echo Jonathan and just being overwhelmed at the number of years some of these teachers have spent in the classroom, and appreciate their service personally as a parent and then as a board member, and just appreciate all they do and wish them the best. And in that also express concern with Ms. Patterson and hope that we as a system are doing everything in our power to ensure we're controlling all we can control in promoting retention of good teachers and administrators at all of our campuses.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Let's basically want to say, we're coming to a close of another school year. You know, we have a lot of activities that's coming in the next couple of weeks, and I just, my hat goes off to the students for excelling and academically in sports and theater and the arts, and they've just been doing a whole lot of things, and congratulations to the students that earned their advanced for college degrees and certificates. And say it's a good time to be a Trojan, and like you were saying, I just hope that when we look at teachers that we are hiring and, you know, try, a lot of times is the retention, try to keep them, you know, make it better for them to stay. And I know when they're moving away and things are happening in that situation, but we don't want to make sure that we're offering them the best situations and accommodations, you know, and want to make them stay together.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. Paul?
I'm just going to say, as always, just thank you for everything that you do, and we're just at a perfect time to just continue to grow. And that's what I look forward to, is still just continue to grow and becoming the best school system that we can do.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Mr. Cox?
I'd just like to thank, Ms. Faison and I think Mr. Wheeler. I went to the, couple games of the spring classic. It went off real well. I don't know any details about if we made any money or not, but I'm sure we did.
We did.
Very, very professionally done, and, cheerleaders, band, team, all look good. So, thank all the teachers that remain, and, hope we have a good year again next year. Thank you.
And I'd just like to echo each of my fellow board members' comments. Teacher appreciation a couple weeks ago, and want to again express appreciation to our teachers on behalf of the board for everything that you all do every day, and the instruction of our children, which oftentimes is a very challenging role, and we understand is probably the most underpaid role in professional society. It's a thankless job often, but we'd be remiss if we missed the opportunity to say thank you again on behalf of the board for all that you do, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And you know, with that, we want to continue to press for excellence and to be the best school system that we can be, the best school system in the state. And we just need to, you know, keep each other in mind, keep excellence in mind as we close out this year, and look forward to planning for next year. And we're excited by the progress of our students and the examples that we saw today, and look forward to continued success in the future. And item number 13 is superintendent comments. So I'll turn it over to Mrs. Thomas for a final word.
Yes, I too would like to, I'm grateful that we've had the opportunity to show our teachers last week how much they are appreciated, because it is a very hard job that they do every day, and trying to get into the minds of the students that they are responsible for, to make sure that they are grow from an academic perspective with those students. And so again, I am very thankful to them for that. That is a very hard job that they have to do each and every day. I wish it was more that we can do for them to show them, outside of telling them, but show them actually how much we appreciate them, more so than we, because they deserve that, and the administration as well. We have a lot going on this week and next week in regards to awards program, graduation, 25th. Lots of awards program at the elementary school next week, middle school this week, high school this week, and then baccalaureate on Sunday, 6 o'clock at the university. I would also like to mention that we have some state champions from track and field, 4x4 girls. They won the state championship. So kudos to them. Probably should have invited them tonight also. We're proud of those girls, and again, I was able to attend the spring basketball football game, and it went well. It really did. It was really nice. I'm sure Mr. Dr. Sealy was kind of on the tired side because he was running the concession.
Yeah, I'd welcome any board member to the concession stand.
Yeah, so that went off really well. Very appreciative of how that went. And we are trying to finish strong as well in hopes that we, get started next year with a great year. So, that's it.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Item number 14 is to adjourn the meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Do I hear a second? We are officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your participation.
Boom.